Today we are at Split with the beautiful FSLABS A320 Sharklets of Eurowings, and we are making head off to Stuttgart. I will show you the whole preparation I will do now, including the pre-flight preparation MCU, and then of course the departure, which is beautiful here. So let's go now in the cockpit. You can see external power is connected, so we don't need the APU on now, and I will show you how we do the preparation of the MCU. Let's go. Let's put it somewhere here. Okay. So first of all, we have to check the data aircraft status. So the engines are correct. The database is active. The active database is still okay. That's the new one, and we have a secondary for if something goes wrong. Then the idle performance factor, yeah, that's a quite new aircraft, so we have a good idle performance and we don't need that much fuel in cruise. Okay. So then we go to the init page and we already have a flight plan. So we put in our flight number, that's Eurowings 45 Juliet, and we are the request init, we will request it. So we have AOC flight plan uplink, that's okay. And now the cool thing on our EFP, we have the OFP right here. It's a little bit hard to read, but on my real tablet, I can have it a little bit better. So we are flying from Split to Stuttgart. The flight number, or our Corsair Eurowings 45 Juliet, the off-block time will be 11:25. Okay, here we have our zero fuel weight, which we put in. Yep, we put that in now. So going back here. Let's wait, we just do the AOC in it, because for that the aircraft will start the refueling, so those don't take too much time, so just one moment. Okay, so the flight number will be Eurowings 2965. That's our flight number of the company and the airports. Or for the passengers, we make init data request, send that off, initialization requested, then we go to here on the second to OFP data and just insert our estimated scheduled departure time right here and our zero fuel weight of 53.0, put it in here, and the block fuel is actually of course also here in our OFP. Let's take this into account. We will be released at 60 or 6,462, so we round it up. Always round this up, so we have some margin more. So 6.5 tons. That means we have extra of 25 minutes roundabout, so that's good. So we have, of course, time for another approach if everything goes well. So just send this one off now, send, and then the FSLABS and GLSX will start the refueling. That's good. So, and now And now we continue with our pre-flight on the MCU. So we have that slot given, and of course our load sheet is there. We reply accept this. You can see we have 106 packs on board. Yeah, and our silver right takeoff fuel, takeoff weight, and so on. Okay, so on the FMC we will put in now the cost index, which will be 20 for today, according to our flight plan. The ground temperature is correct. I will show the ATIS later on. I already checked this. On the secondary page, we just put in for the first time the zero fuel rate of 23.0. So block fuel was 6.5. We put this in. And of course, later on we have to compare if this one is the same as in this is in the FMS. Okay, good. So we have Delta diff now to our flight plan. We taking off runway 05, and therefore our first waypoint will be Zulu Delta Alpha VOR, and so put this in, and therefore we have here Zulu Delta Alpha 1 Whiskey departure, Zulu Delta Alpha 1 Whiskey insert, and we did our flight plan uplink, so we have the whole routing already inserted here, so I don't have to put it in manually, but please compare it with your OFP. I will now do it on my side here, because it's better that I have the external iPad on the left side of me, so it's easier for me, and then I will come back to you. Okay, I just compare it, it looks perfect. We just need to put in the arrival route, so that will be the, let's see, Lupo 1 Whiskey arrival runway 2. So Lupo 1 Whiskey arrival, put it in there. Stuttgart, so I will show it here. Echo Delta Delta arrival LS 25 und Lupo 1 Whiskey without any wire, without a transition. We can add there a transition if there is any, but at Stuttgart I think it's not procedure to fly a transition. But you have to read always the Chaseplane charts, and there you find many informations about this. Okay, cool. So our flight plan is done. So we have to have a look at the departure route. So we have our charts right here. Okay, you can see this is the departure route, which flies the Zulu Delta Alpha 1 Whiskey arrival. Zulu Delta Alpha is the VOR, and this is Sadar VOR. Okay, that's are all RNAV departures, so that's good. Okay, so which I do now, I will compare this one, which is in here, of course, with the flight plan. So SP 800. Yeah, that's short, but that's perfect. This is all inserted here. Yeah, that looks good. So now we have already we can put some Radnav things here. So let's say I would put in split VOR for once, and then the SATA VOR. So we go to the Radnav page, which is here, Radnav. So we put in split. Be aware if there is split already inserted, but it's a small figure, that means the aircraft put it by itself. So that's not inserted properly. That means if you don't put in split right now here, it can change, and it will change, because the Airbus are always tuning the VOR by itself, so you have to be aware of that. So you always have to put in this manually. So now the VOR Zulu Delta Alpha on VOR 2. Perfect. So okay, this is done right now. We are still refueling, which you can see here, but we already have our 6.5 tons, so I will come to you if we have refueled here. Okay, we are back now, and the refueling is completed, so we have 6,500 inserted here. The next thing we can do is AOC thing. Just make uplink for the fuel. I just don't do this like we would normally. You can see how much I've ordered, but I think that's not correct. Yeah, we had already something, so don't mind, but I have to do this, otherwise I will get a message later on that will remind me. But now we do the takeoff performance. So I will have to put in the airport split, and we have to look at the charts, but of course the full runway length, runway 05, that means we have to backtrack here and do it a takeoff run. Then you can see the takeoff distance available, takeoff run available will be 2,550 meters from the runway head, which we take. So full length 2,550, which is correct. Then we have wind. I have the weather on my hand. Newsec 060 with 10 knots, correct. Outside air temperature 30 degrees. QNH 1005. Condition dry. Takeoff weight will be 59.4, and the Mach takeoff weight, the trim or the CG of the aircraft for takeoff will be 20. Perfect. So we take flex takeoff, config 1+F. I will force this now. I think it's not correct, but otherwise I will always get FSLABS 3, and that's not good. But actually we have to be aware of this one. You can see we have to make a sharp turn at 185 knots. So I will have to use FSLABS 2 because of the turn. And TI is off, and air condition will be on engine, so I will have to put it on. If you use the APU bleed for takeoff, which you can do, you actually can select air condition off, because the air condition or the packs will not run of the engines, it will run from the APU, so the engines will not have less power. We press calculate and have a look.
Meine Damen und Herren, herzlich willkommen an Bord dieses Eurowings-Fluges. Bitte verstauen Sie großes und schweres Handgepäck, ausschließlich
or put it off. Okay. Then we have the V1 131, 131, 134. Acceleration altitude, disregard this one. I will take the real numbers, and so we have an NADP1 approach. So that means 15,000 thrust reduction and 3,000 acceleration. That means we have to first put our thrust back at 1500 above the airport, and then continue climbing on our SRS until we reach 3080. So we'll use this one. So I will put in this in MCU performance 131, 131, and this one was 134, I think. 134, 134, 1580. Okay. Engine out acceleration. I will take this one here, 1600. 1600. Okay. Trim was down or up 0, so makes a difference. Down 0.0. Anti-flex temperature, let's see, 68. So it's still a lot of. It's much. It's good. Okay. This one was this calculation. Okay. So now we have to wait until the boarding is completed, and then we request these telemetries. Okay, now it's time to do a briefing. So okay, aircraft status, we have active database, which is good. We are flying from Split to Stuttgart. Our alternate will be Frankfurt. Flight number Eurowings 45 Juliet, cost index 20, FSLABS A320. That will be, yeah, it's okay, FSLABS A320. Then we fly the Sada 1 Whiskey departure, that means 480, then Sierra Papa 800, Sierra Papa 802 to Sada VOR. There we continue with our routing. On the RADNAV page I have inserted Split VOR and Sada VOR 2, Split VOR 1. Okay, the B page I will do later on, if we have the final load sheet. Okay, on the flight plan, secondary flight plan page, I have made a quick return for the Sada 1 after the bit 800, so that means we have a quick return for runway 05. Okay. The departure route will be the Sada 1 Whiskey arrival. And in case of engine failure, we take the engine outset at 3.5 dB split. We're making a right turn heading or track 180, and then when we cross radial 110 split, we fly direct to Delta Victor November. That's what I have inserted on the fix info page. That should be no problem. We have 2,550 meters runway length. It will be enough for one engine, but if we have an hydraulic failure, we have to look if we don't take Dubrovnik as takeoff alternate. Good. So we ask now for the clearance. I have 5,000 feet will be our altitude which we are climbing on the SID, but maybe we can get a different, so we have to stand by. The ATIS we also got, we have information Yankee expecting 05, that's good. the weather we are aware of. So close the cockpit door and maybe that's our load sheet. We're 53.0, that's still the same, and we take 53.0 and the max override 29.7, put it there. 29.7, perfect. Go to the performance page. RTR control, good day, bearings 45 Juliet, position 3 at split, information Yankee, QNH 1005, requesting startup clearance destination Stuttgart.
Bearings 45 Juliet, Adria radar over information Yankee is correct, clear to destination, departure runway 05 via radar 1 whiskey departure, initially 5,000 feet, squawk 5212.
Bearings 45 Juliet, we are clear destination Stuttgart, we are runway 05, the SADA 1 Whiskey departure route climb initially 5000, squawk 5212.
Bearings 45 Juliet, feedback is correct and startup is approved, QNH is please 1005.
Startup approved, QNH 1005, bearings 45 Juliet. Okay, we have the clearance, which is correct. So let's arm the doors for the departure. So B4 start checklist.
Cockpit prep.
Completed.
Completed. Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Signs.
On and auto.
ADIRS.
Meine Damen und Herren, aus Seiten der Kabinenbesatzung heißen wir Sie herzlich willkommen auf unserem heutigen Eurowings-Flug. Ihre Smartphones und Tablets dürfen Sie
Fuel
gerne
quantity.
nutzen. Sollte eines Ihrer elektronischen Geräte beschädigt sein, heißt
6460 Kilograms.
die Kabinenbesatzung. Vielen Dank.
Takeoff data.
Set
Baro ref.
1005 set.
Meine Damen und Herren, bitte beachten Sie, dass an Bord des Flugzeugs
1005 set. Down to the line.
dient ein zusätzlicher Schutz. Bitte vermeiden Sie das unnötige Verlassen Ihres Sitzplatzes. Eurowings hat für unsere gemeinsame Sicherheit die Reinigungszyklen erhöht und führt eine regelmäßige desinfizierende Reinigung der Flugzeugkabine.
Yeah, we have to get rid of the
Ladies and gentlemen,
view
we have
first
here
and then
our pleasure to welcome you on board. The smartphones and tablets can be used in flight mode.
the taxi
If you're
on.
excited, one of your electronic devices.
Okay,
Im
so we
Ultraschallfall
are
eines
ready for
Druckverlustes fallen
pushback.
automatisch Sauerstoffmasken aus den Fächern über ihn. Ziehen Sie eine der Masken ruckartig an sich heran, um den Sauerstoffzufluss zu starten. Entfernen Sie Ihre Mund-Nasen-Bedeckung, drücken Sie die
Just wait for the
Sauerstoffmaske
clearance.
fest auf Mund und Nase und streifen Sie das elastische Band über Ihren Kopf.
Bearings 45
Atmen Sie normal
Juliet,
weiter und
request
halten
push
Sie
and
drei
start.
Sekunden. Auch in den Waschräumen stehen Ihnen Sauerstoffmasken
Bearings
zur Verfügung.
45 Juliet,
Wir möchten Sie bitten, sich zu Ihrer eigenen Sicherheit nicht in Gruppen vor den Waschräumen aufzuhalten.
Push and start approved, bearings 45 Juliet,
Oxygen
QNH
mask will
1005.
automatically drop from the panel above you. Pulling
Okay,
one mask
beacon
towards
on.
you will start the oxygen flow.
Checking the accu pressure again, which is good.
Press the oxygen mask firmly on your
And
mouth
then
and nose and
I don't know
secure
why
the
these lights are not
over your head.
showing armed right
Please
now,
note
but
that as a startup
it will be maybe if we start
They
here.
also provided a
Release pack,
for your
right.
safety. Passengers are not allowed to stay
Commencing
close
push.
in front of the laptop.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Negative 9,000 feet. 9.
Below the line,
Windows and doors.
closed,
Closed. Beacon.
on,
Thrust levers.
idle,
Eine Schwimmweste befindet
Parking
sich
brake.
auf
Off.
dem Sitz. Nehmen Sie diese bitte
Before
vor
start
beim
checklist
Einplatz
complete.
im Haus. Ziehen Sie die Schwimmweste über Ihren Kopf, führen Sie den Gurt um Ihren
Starting
Körper,
engine
lassen
two.
Sie das Ende in den vorderen Verschluss einrasten und ziehen Sie den Gurt fest.
So,
Unmittelbar nach dem Verlassen des Flugzeuges über die
let's wait until the
Notausgänge ziehen
engines
Sie
are
an den roten Griff, um die
started.
Weste aufzublasen.
There is
Die
not
Weste hat
much
außerdem ein seitlich angebrachtes
to
Ventil, das
investigate
zum Aufblasen,
there
zum
because
Ablassen von
if
Luft
there
genutzt
is
werden
any
kann.
problem,
Die
we can
Signallampe
will
leuchtet bei Kontakt mit
clearance.
Wasser automatisch auf. When instructed to do so, please take the life vest, which is located under your seat. Put the life vest over your head, place a strap around your body. Attach the end in the buckle in the front and pull the strap tight. Pull the red handle to inflate your life vest only after leaving the aircraft via the emergency exits. The line west has one valve to inflate or release the air pressure.
Starting
the
engine
signal
1.
lamp lights up on contact with water.
Okay, engine 1 will start.
Lassen Sie jetzt einen Blick auf die Sicherheitskarte vor Ihnen. Darauf finden Sie weitere wichtige Informationen. Darüber hinaus leisten Sie bitte den Hinweisschilder
So,
sowie
Center
Instruktionen
Airline
stets folgen.
040, identified report
Safety
mark
briefing
number.
is
At this moment, please
already
take a look at
finishing.
the safety card in front of you. Here you find further important information. Furthermore, you have to comply the signs and crew member instructions at all times.
So,
Center
the guy
040, maintains Mach 76.
Zum Start stellen Sie nun bitte die Rücklehne
Okay.
senkrecht, klappen Sie die Tische hoch und öffnen Sie alle Sonnenblenden. Bitte vergewissern Sie sich, dass Ihr Handgepäck ordnungsgemäß verstaut ist. Dort verbleibt es auch im unwahrscheinlichen Fall einer Evakuierung. Vergewissern Sie sich, dass das Sicherheitsgurt geschlossen und festgezogen ist. Wir möchten Sie darauf hinweisen, dass alle eure Rückzüge nicht raucherflüge sind und
this
dass
on now.
Rauchen keine Zeit gestattet ist. Wir bedanken uns für Ihre
We have no
Aufmerksamkeit
sting.
und wünschen Ihnen
Status
einen angenehmen
reminders.
Aufenthalt an Bord.
That.
For takeoff, please
After start
your
checklist.
seat in an upright position.
Anti-ice.
Push the table away and door.
Ecam status.
Airport Airline
Pitch trim.
29%.
Rudder trim.
Please note that all
Several
gearings, flight and non-smoking
After start
devices
checklist
are
complete.
permitted at any time.
So,
Thank you for your attention and we wish
Black
you a
project.
pleasant stay on board.
Full up.
Cabin crew all doors at flight.
Full down. Neutral. Full left. Full right.
Traffic deck.
Left
Neutral.
is clear. Right is clear.
good. Ground is clear. Radar.
Full left. Full right. Neutral.
Okay. Now the FO, pilot monitoring, will do his check. And then after his check we can switch off the APU bleed and the APU. So we can request taxi planes. Yeah, wings 45 Juliet, request taxi.
During 45 Juliet, taxi Alpha, backtrack in line number with
During 45 Juliet, taxi via Alpha, backtrack runway 05. Okay. On, turn off lights on. Clear left side.
Clear right side.
So we have the lineup clearance. Brake check.
Pressure 0.
We have already the lineup clearance for the backtrack of the runway 05. So we have to wait until the cabin is ready, then we can make the before takeoff. So maximum 10 knots here. We have 10 knots. And then turning right here is the taxiway Alpha. We are. And we have lineup clearance. Okay. Turning the strobe lights on for the lineup for the runway. Clear left side.
Clear right side.
I think the markings are a bit weird there. I think it's a sim problem, but cabin ready. Before takeoff checklist.
Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flight instruments.
Checked.
Checked. Briefing.
Confirmed.
Flap setting.
Config 2.
Config 2. B1, BR, B2, flex temp.
This is if you're not changing this to flaps 2. But therefore we have to check this. So yeah. This was the pilot monitoring, which didn't make this probably. 131, 131, 134. Flex time 68.
V1 131, VR 131, V2 134, flex temp 68 degrees ATC,
Set.
Ecam Memo,
Takeoff no blue.
down to the line.
Short review. Okay, we have climb nav blue, flight director 1 and 2, 5,000 feet on the FCU for our departure route. It will be RNAV departure, the Sada 1 Whiskey. Das ist eine RNAV departure. SP800, then the SP802, and then to Sada VOR, which is in our MCU. It's an NADP-1 departure. In case of engine failure, we fly this procedure. It was 3.5 miles of split. We make a right turn at heading 18, so to the sea, and then proceeding to Delta Victor November R. So we can make the turning. And we can report ready. During 45 Juliet, ready for departure.
During 45 Juliet, runway 05, clear for takeoff with 070 degrees matter.
Approach path clear of traffic.
During 45 Juliet, cleared for takeoff, runway 0. Okay.
Cabin crew be seated for takeoff.
Air Bosnia 106, runway 11, please land.
Below the line.
Takeoff runway.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Cabin crew.
Advised.
TCAS.
TARA.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
PAX.
On.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
Okay. Let's put all the lights on. Ready?
AFIRM.
50 stable. Takeoff. Man flag 68 SS runway. First blue.
Thrust set.
0550 balance.
100 knots.
Checked.
E1 rotate.
8718, nothing further unit.
Positive climb.
Gear up. Nav.
Gear up. Checked.
AP1. Sorry. Okay. Now the autopilot will follow the SRS command. And then
Checked.
lever climb.
Checked.
Cross climb.
Checked.
Out of mist.
Checked.
So now I will have to direct this one. And for the tight turns that we make a 30-degree turn, we have to use flaps 2, I think. Climb Alt U.
Checked. Checked.
So we have to be aware of the speed switch. 185 knots for our flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps on.
approaching 1000.
If necessary, I will know ahead compartments will be carefully in order to avoid any object falling out.
So be aware that we captured the 5000.
Checked.
Speed als down.
Checked. Checked.
Proceed direct to Bodosan, continue 320 where minor with a 2492.
Maybe we call the computer now. Hard controller. Halt.
Checked.
Beautiful. Over here. Oh, there's a whole city.
By Juliet, identified 15000.
Bearing 4-5 Juliet, climb near the 200. Cross climb, alt, magenta.
Checked.
And that's
Checked.
523 hello, identified by 5.
We have this restriction here on the departure route. We have to be at 5500 feet over this point, and then at 9000. Our constraint, speed I constraint.
And the 523 to maintain
cross climb, alt, U. Perfect. Flaps 0. Flaps 0.
Speed checked. Checked. Flaps 0.
After takeoff climb checklist.
Landing gear.
Up.
Flaps.
Retracted.
Hats.
On.
Down to the line.
Okay, that was the departure of Split. There's just one checklist to do, so we get a direct to Payphone, now for the river. Set standard.
Standard cross-checked. Passing flight level 110. Confirm seatbelts off.
Check the difference. Below the line.
Barrel ref.
Standard set.
Standard set. After takeoff, climb checklist complete.
Negative.
Confirm clear at nav.
Negative.
Confirm copy active to secondary.
Yes. Okay. I will clear the run of miles. Otherwise it will take so long. So we have to delete this one, now we have this one, so it's small, we can put it right here, that's okay. And I think a little bit warmer cockpit will be good. So now we are in clouds, so we have to have a look on the total air temperature. Now it's 15 degrees, so at 10 degrees or below we have to switch on anti-ice. Yeah, so we have to switch on the engine anti-ice. We have to be aware of that. Until now it's no factor. That will be soon the case. Okay, then I will climb to our cruising level by myself. There's nothing special to see at the moment. We are not on the departure anymore, so I will select airport right now because we don't have any. So we'll have a look.